Well, let's take it back a little bit. Let's take a look at what we got here. We did Wheelhouse, Stony Point, Devil's Dream. I don't know that I want to play Devil's Dream again. The only thing that I really like in that, well, Devil's Dream, it turned out really neat. I like the Dan Crary lick that shot us up the neck because it looks cool and it's good for E stuff. Now let me ask you this, since you're all well versed in that lick now. Chat this in, someone. Did we move that to other strings? Someone let me know. Okay, because it's an E lick. It starts on E and it ends on E. If you want to be a bad boy and girl at the end, just... Okay? But it starts on E. If I do it on the third string, it's now a G lick. It's a logic thing. If it's an E lick starting on an E note and ending on an E note, then wherever I move it, whatever note I start on, it's going to be that lick, right? So if I need a G lick, Sally Gooden. Actually, I would use it at the end of Blackberry Blossom if I was going to do it in there at all. Not the greatest one to go in there, but you see what because it resolved on G. That last note's a G. That's why I would use it at the end, because Blackberry Blossom, in the middle, it resolves on something that has to do with the D chord. Da, 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 da. Right? So I could do it on a D, but D would be starting on the fourth string. Not the greatest one, but you see what I had to do is, so it's a two measure lick, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It's a two measure lick. The first half of Blackberry Blossom is 4 measures long. Da, 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 da. That ends me on my D note. Now I've got 2 more measures left, so I can do that lick for D, which sounds good there. I can get away with that. Then the next one is 2 measures of G, and then it resolves on G, so I could use it at the end. I like it in the middle. I've never done that before. Let's see. See? So there's a D lick. Now, the only one that's going to be different is when you do it on the B string. And that's because we have to tune back at the third on the third string to the 4th fret to catch that one note. So you have to change one note in that whole run. Instead of going to 12, I'm going to bring it back 1 fret. So I'm going to 11, right? Okay, the importance of that is when you learn a lick is to figure out how to own it, and you own it by figuring out how to place it. I put new strings on. It didn't like that choke there. So while I got a tuner, I'm going to do it one more time. All right. So that's how. Are there any questions on that? It's a 2-measure lick. If you needed a 2-measure A run, I'm going to start it on the A string. I can't go to this E unless I did what I just did there. Instead of going to the 7th string, I stayed on the 6th, and I had to do it all there. If I needed an E lick though, I'd be on the 1st string. Okay, so I wanted to make sure we went over that. That's an important thing. And some of the other licks that we do, we talk about the position that it's played out of. So therefore, it's trying to get you to see how you can use it for different situations. Let's see if there's anything else here. Well, nothing to it. We did that. We did the dock lick in that, didn't we? Someone help me out here. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, okay. Okay, Nancy. You have an excuse. Okay. So therefore, let's go back to let's go back into maybe well, let's just do nothing to it. We'll do nothing to it, writes a man. We got to hit Spider bit the baby. I think that sounds like a plan. Nothing to it. Okay, guys? And Nancy, rest assured that the video that you watch on YouTube will be perfectly clean. Okay, let's go through it twice. Are there any questions on that that we're going to stick in there? Any questions on that? Throw a hand up. Now, after that C run, which is a C run, so here's an A run. G. F. Right? And what I was thinking while I was it looked like I was freezing right there, is that you just have to look at it. It's a 2-measure run. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's a 2-measure run. You have to really look for places where you can put that. And it doesn't have to be in the key of C. It could be a 2-measure G run, as I shall now demonstrate. The end of Blackberry Blossom again. We've already gone... I would do that one. Okay, you see what I mean? You have to think of songs in the key of A. You see. And throw it in there. Yeah, and then you say, is that as tasteful as it could possibly be? And if the answer is no, then you're not going to use it there again. But you may want to change it, figure out what doesn't sound good about putting it in that spot, and change it. You see what I mean? And the more you do of that, the easier it gets, and the faster it will happen. It'll happen, and that's how I do it on the fly. I say, I don't think I want to go there. That's why I don't, I take the licks from here and from here, but I'm going to have to bend it and change it to make it fit the situation, and I do that in an instant as I'm playing. If I'm doing a show, I have the bass, I know how the chord structure goes, I have the theme of the song down, but I don't know how the break's going to go. I don't know it until I play it, and it's by doing that, and that's what you guys are going to be doing. But you have to start somewhere. So take some of these places that we've talked about as being runs and insert them into other things and see how you can make it fit. Okay? All right, any questions on that? And Nancy, you can answer tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm a funny boy. All right, let's try nothing to it. I thought that was a good one. I don't care. As Larry the Cable Guy, I don't care who you are. That was funny. All right, here we go. Not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're gonna go twice. Okay, hold it here while we have to resolve. Okay, boy, I don't have caffeine in my drink, but I must be feeling frisky. Now, there's a couple things I wonder if you notice, because I put them, I record them this way because you already know how the straight melody goes. So I throw a few other things in there. Is anyone doing this where I've been doing that for a couple weeks now? Is anyone doing that? Or are you just playing it straight? Don't play it straight if you know a better way. Unless you don't like the way I was playing it. We're at the end of the third line. Let's... Okay, you know the chord, right? Good, Greg. Good for you. It's a C9. You know that chord, right? Throw a hand up if you do not. Okay, so you all know it. Oh. Okay, I got two no's. All right, you're going to take your third finger, go across the first 3 strings at the 5th fret. Okay, hold down now your first finger, and now you pull your elbow away from your side in order to use the outside edge of your third finger. Don't use the flat part, you have to use the outside edge, and you get to the outside edge by pushing your elbow away from your side as far as you need to. Okay, then my first finger is going on the 4th string, 4th fret. Okay, and then my second finger goes to the 6th string, 5th fret. And the note that I'm muting on the 5th string, if I were to push that note down, but I'm not. I'm muting out a note on the 5th string. That's the root. So this is a 9th chord. What 9th chord is this one? It's not C9. Someone chat that in. Because I need to know myself. It's a D9. That's exactly right. The note I'm muting out is a D. So now you own that chord because you understand that the muted note is the root of the chord. There's no other root in the chord. Okay? It's also, this is at the end of this. Here's a D7. Here's a D9. Here's a C7. Here's a C9. This chord is at the end of this, is the way, because I had no one to teach me. So I had to make associations. that ninth chord is, I learned this was the first movable chord I knew. And I knew that this was an E. So I knew this was an E9. It's at the end of it. Okay? See the association. So we need a D flat 9 to a C9 really quick. Or we're going to end at this C9. We're going to start 1 fret high. That's what we're doing. Let me play the third line again. And I'm getting there ahead of where ahead of a straight beat. A straight beat's like this. But I'm going. Okay? Work on that. Work on that, because that will turn heads, and that's what we want to do. Okay? The other thing that I just did in this, there you go. The other thing I just did in this, and I can't linger too long because we'll run out of time, but instead of just hitting these E's like we've been hitting them, I've never done this in this class before. I slid into the first E. Let's see. Allman Brothers, I don't know. I don't know about the Allman Brothers. I never listened to them because I don't know that they listened to Doc Watson. I slid into the first E. No, I slid into the second E. I think. Because I got tired of hitting it the same way. And that's where change comes in. I slid into the low E's. But you can slide into the first one too. It's just a little tougher. I think there's more effect, more dramatic effect, sliding into the second high E. Now into the first E here. Okay, and you see what I did was I set up a pattern. I slid into the first one, I slid into my next one. I don't have anything I can slide into on the last one. But if I wanted to keep a pattern going of some effect going to the E, any suggestions? I already know what I would do. Any suggestions? And besides this one. Besides that. Can you think of anything that you could possibly do to spice up just hitting these E's? Hammer on a G to E. Pull off, you mean? Yeah. Now you guys are okay. Exactly right. Right. You have to do something on that string. I would actually do a bend. I bend it from the F sharp, bending it up to a G, like Nancy's suggesting, down to an E. Sounds like this. Okay? It's something else put in there, and it attracts attention. Okay? So, don't play it the same way for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Put something else in there. You know? Now, I still played the melody. But I made people look, you know, and I made it more interesting for me. It's actually more exciting for me. If you could see this high def mic, I've got chicken skin right here, just because I've changed that little bit, just that little bit. Okay, right. So now we go back. Are we okay on that? Any questions? I didn't mean to rant so long on that, but we are in the upper group now. So you look for things like that. Now we go back. The other things that I remember, we had this. We went down to here. And you can stick that in there now. The other thing that we did, and I don't know if you really remembered this. I think we did that. Because that's a good Doc Watson. Okay? Let's do that slow. When we get to the second part, we're going to do the slide into the, and you may want to just circle it or something. We're going to slide into the second E, slide into the first E on the 4th string, and do a bend to replace the 2 first eighth notes. And then you're just going to hit the E. It's only 2 hits there. Okay? Good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Remember that C9. Here we go. Try that 9. Slide. That's cool. Now, another thing that I do, which you can try, don't try it without a spotter, is when you take, I'm on the second line, second page, second line, second measure, take this D, put 3 fingers down on the 2nd string, and choke that up to an E, 2 frets. I went too slow. Takes a lot of strength to do that. And you're fighting the nut. It's easier up here. This is harder here. But I do that a lot. Because people don't expect that you're going to be able to bend it 2 frets to get up to that E. I do it if I'm doing A minor stuff. Okay, so you can try that. Any questions? Comments? That was pretty cool. I haven't done that with any of the groups. But you see, I've done this song with the groups now maybe 4 times. And I just got tired of going, you know? So let's do something different. Okay, no questions there. Let's do Bob's favorite, Rights of Man. And let's see where we are on time. Yeah, we got time to do that and get the Spider Bit the Baby in there. That was a cool song, too. All right, we've got 2 ways here on this Rights of Man, if I recall. Again, I don't do the same thing with every class. That's why some people, I suggest just repeat the class because we're going to do different stuff. And some people are doing that with the rhythm class right now, and one person's doing it with one of the lead classes. Because in repeating it, who knows what we're going to be talking about on the side, and you're much more comfortable with the material. So if you don't think you're ready to go on, repeat the section. And also, if I know that you've repeated it, like I've got people that have finished 103 lead, but now they're going back to 101 because there's so much stuff back in there. All right, Rights of Man. Oh, what I was going to say, if I know that you're one of the repeats, I don't address that, but I think of stuff that was outside of the box that we might not have done. All right, let's do it straight like we've got it. and then we're going to put in the hammer-on pull-off triplets. And I don't think we did anything on the second part. It was just all on the first part. No, I don't think we did anything. Okay. So if we did it this speed, throw your hand up if you can do this. Okay, so we can all do that speed. Let's go right there. Good job. I was going to say, good job, guys. And Nancy, you know when I say that, we're all, use guys, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, did you make it through to the end with me at that speed? Okay, good. So now, that's 100%. So now, are you playing it, sorry about that, are you playing it with a dotted 8th, 16th note feel? Who thinks that they are? Throw your hand up on that. Okay. Okay, good. All right, because that's real important, you know, so that you don't sound like two-dimensional. Like, if you're doing it with a dotted 8th feel, you're starting to feel the song. And that's pretty much what it is. All right, so if we stayed at the same speed, can you get this? At the same speed, can you put that in there? Throw them up there, if you can. All right. I got one right away and one kind of sluggish, so I'm gonna bring it. Let's bring the speed down just a little bit. Second triplet. Oh, when you have to jump to here. And there's no way. There's no workaround on that, Greg. That's the way it is. Try this. Here's a workaround. Hit the first hammer on the 3rd string 4 to 5. You can't put the 2 pickup notes in there. You can't put those in. You can if you're really fast with it. But you see what I mean? Maybe it's because you have to jump strings. I don't know. You think that's what it is, because you're having to change strings? Or is it just a matter of doing it more? Yes. Oh, I think that was it. Okay. So you can try that. Let us do the pickups. You do it from here. Okay. I wasn't freezing there. Yeah, it's a different feel there. I wasn't freezing there. I was thinking of, should I show him that Django lick that I learned this from? But I better not. Bring it up another time. All right, let's go ahead and try it this way. A little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. How'd that go, gang? Throw some numbers up there for me. That's okay, Nancy. Good, okay. Okay, fine. Alrighty. Let's look at this Spider Bit the Baby. I think it was easier. It's longer, but I think it was easier. Definitely easier than Rights of Man. But it had a few little things I think we stuck in there. I'm not sure. It's the talking. It's not, I guess it also like some kind of, it's not allergy stuff here. It's that it was so warm in Florida and now it's so cold here. All right. I think you can all do it at that speed, right? I got one. I got two. Okay, let's do it just a hair. I got three. All right, let's do it. I got four. Okay, we'll try it at that speed. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Hold it here. How did that last run go? Who made it through those last two measures? I've got. I'm going to put a little. I'm going to put a little something in the chat box so I can see where the line division is, because there's so many chats in there. I'm not sure. All right. So who made it through that last two measures? Don's throwing a 2 in there. Greg made it through. I got a so out of bounds. And then Nancy was a negatory. All right. Let's look at those last two measures. It's hard. I know it's hard. I made up the lick, so it was easy. It's easier for me than it is for you having to learn something out of my head. First, let's do the lick first. What it's doing is playing out of the C stuff, right? Here's your first C that it's playing out of, right? So on the first string, it's the 8 and 5, because that's where this A-shaped chord is based out of. Slower is fine, yeah. All right, and then we're going to this C stuff, which we were doing in this song, 3 and 5. All right, so we're doing C stuff with open strings in between it. Then we get to the next C stuff. This 4 is almost always used to get us back to the nut, because after this E flat would be an E almost always. It could be a D back to here, but it's still going back to the nut. Okay, that's what happens with that kind of lick. Okay, so we're here, but I want to do it a couple times just slow. Right in here. Okay, join in there with me. Let's go again. Last time. All right, so throw your hand up if you were able to stay with me at that speed. All right. So now stay with me. Stay with me. 3 and 4 and. Stay with me. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Last time. All right, so hold it there. Did you stay with me there? Throw a hand up. All right, I eased the speed up, but I got comfortable with it first. And then I eased the speed up. And I made it so that my fingers knew what I was doing as I crept up the speed. Okay? We almost doubled how fast we were going from the first time. And we did it about 8 times. This is when you've heard me say it before. Play the lick 10 times. 10 times. It doesn't have to be 10 perfect times, because as Don is saying, he'll end up hitting this B. If I hit that B, it's going to throw me off on the A also, because I'm going to be 1 fret low, because I feel it like this, right? Yeah, I feel it like this. All right, so try this now. Open 3, 5, 3. It's the beginning of June Apple. Open 3, 5, 3. Eighth notes. Open 5, 8, 5. Okay? So it's open 3, 5, 3. It's the same frets we've been working on. Open 3, 5, 3. Open 5, 8, 5. Open 8, 12. Up to 12. Okay? And then back down. So this is what we got. Those 4 places, and it starts over. It's a lick, but it's now an exercise for us to get used to the feel of the 3, 5, 5, 8, 8, 12. Because those are the C places that we use droning off of the open E. Okay? That's a great lick, as I shall now demonstrate. Let's see how I'm going to slip it in here. Oh, you know what? When I do it that way, I'm hearing it as the first 2 notes, the open 3, being pickup notes in the measure before. Okay? So, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... It slid right in there to be able to use the last 2 measures of the lick as well. Did you catch that? Okay, so the open 3 that we worked it. Now the open 3, that started on a 1 beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? But if you started as a 4 and beat, at the end of the A minor measure on the second line, it will replace the first 2 measures of the second line, the A minor measure of the first line. It will replace the first 2 measures of the second line, and then you go right into the lick that's written there, as I shall now demonstrate, and then we'll get off of this. All right, let's play it the way we have it, though. You're not going to have any trouble getting through those last two measures of the second line now. Are we good there? That's pretty slick. See if you can get that in there. I'd never done that before. No one before you has worked on it that way. No one before you has gotten this one. Okay, work on that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Back to the top. Remember the strums here if you can do it. Now, I'm going to guess that the last two measures were just as tough to get down as, because it's just a new C lick. I think I'm probably right there. But were you able to keep up with me on that speed there? Throw a hand up, and or numbers. Yeah, at that speed was pretty good. Okay, let's see how we're doing on time. Are there any questions on the exercise? Now a lick. Let me see, Bob. Let me open up your mic. There you go, sir. I think there you go.
Okay, got a question for you, Steve. The second part on that song sounds a lot like Black Mountain Rag, doesn't it?
It does. To me, it sounds more like a shortening bread. Mama, don't, Mom. Something about shortened bread. But it is, yes, it's got, well, it's got the same notes as Black Mountain Rag. Yeah, it's got a lot of it in there. It's really close, yeah. But it's not because of the. See, shortening bread is Mama's little baby loves shortening, Mama's little baby, right? That's why I'm hearing shortening bread in that, you know. But yeah, you're right. Well, you know, it's nice when things sound like something else, because I just muted you out because you may be able to find Black Mountain Rag. We haven't done that yet, I don't think. Did we do Black Mountain Rag? Someone let me know. No. Yes. Now, which is it? No. Come on, Greg. Blackberry Rag. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But we didn't do Black Mountain Rag. And that's coming up. That's one of the ones we work on. And we also break it down the way Doc was doing it, too. It's really cool. some of the stuff in there. All right, but what I was getting at is, yeah, if the second part to Black Mountain Rag is this. So you could do this. And if you threw that in a Black Mountain Rag, people would say, "Man, where is this guy coming from?" Because they won't know Spider Bit the Baby. You know, they just won't know it. Hey, Jim just made it in. All right. I don't know that there's anything else we need to go over on that. I want to go over. Are there any other questions on that? Spider Bit the Baby. We'll go back and visit it again now that we have so many new cool things that we stuck in there. Okay? And of course, like I said, you guys were the first. Uncharted territory. All right. I want to just go over a couple things here. First, I sent this one sheet out with the different cross-picking rolls on it. It's really the same. The first one and the second one are basically the same. And if you've been in one of my workshops, we've done the first one. We did the second one in Blackberry Rag, a 2-measure forward roll. That's the Blackberry Rag B part roll. 2-measure forward roll. 15 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 notes. So that's what this second line on the cross-picking pattern is. The first line is a regular standard cross-picking roll. Okay? It's an 8-note, 1-measure pattern. Okay? Now, they're all 1/8 notes. If you has anyone not done cross-picking that's in the group? Throw a hand up if you have not. No hands went up. Boy, this is a tough crowd. Okay, so you've done the first. All right, so let's bring this down. You've done the second pattern. I know because we did Blackberry Rag. You've done the first pattern somewhere, right? The next pattern is an inside-outside roll, which they use for Bill Cheatham. If you've done Bill Cheatham, that's the roll you're using there. It's more of a square pattern. It allows you to, the first pattern, you have to play with the syncopation of the melody notes around it. You have to play with the syncopation and force your ideas into it. The second pattern is used to replace shuffles, fiddle shuffles. Beaumont Rag, 15-note pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Have you ever tried to count and do that at the same time like that? And then but it's a syncopated one. Now, so I don't need to keep going with it. But the last one allows you to do a square pattern. You can change that one, you can change the melody to that one in the middle of the measure, which you can't do with the other two rolls. Or that's changing after 2 beats. Or when you see the pattern, it's actually repeating. Right? So there it is repeating after 2 beats. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Okay? Anyway, if you haven't done, I think you've all done those patterns, but if you haven't done the last one, work on it as well. It's not in Banks of the Ohio. Banks of the Ohio is pretty well a straightforward roll pattern. But it has some tricky stuff in it. Let me go ahead and play through it one time. I think you're going to like this one. Okay. let me play through it. I'll play through it first. Then we have to. There's a lot of stuff to talk about on this. Any questions on the roll pattern, though? Of course, you know the most important feature of the roll pattern is the down ups. Do not down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That's the George Shuffler way, and it will work with Banks of the Ohio because it's a slow song. But that is going to give you a top speed. If you do down, down, up, some people do that, and I don't know why they fight it. But it's because George did it that way, and then Alan Shelton does it that way, and then Beppe Gambetta does it that way. And then, you know, people see it this way. Doc does it the same way as I do, or I do it the same way as Doc. I do it the same way as Dan Crary. You know, the thing is that if you do the double downs, you're going to top out in speed. And the top out in speed is based on the amount of practice that you put in on that one roll. If you have your right hand smooth with your down ups, this will be way faster than ever doing a double down. Okay, now this song doesn't go fast, so here, that's why I say you can get away with it. All right, let me go ahead and run this puppy here. I think that was like full speed. You know, that wasn't that's about as fast as you'll have to go. All right, starts with your pickup notes. But that's setting you up to go into this G shape, right? It's an F at the 3rd fret, and you're just going to roll it through. And you roll it through to the first note of the next measure. Okay? I've set it up to do that. Okay, that first note of the next measure is going to be the end of the roll. Don't lose me now. I need to get my... Okay, let me just take a second here. Okay, so we're into the first measure, the first note of the next measure. Let me hit the roll. That is still down in the second measure. Right? I got a lot of ringing going on because I have worked on sustain. All right, the next measure, the D7 roll, what we're going to do is make a D7 and then a D7 suspended. So when you raise the F sharp to a G, that's a D7 suspended. Or we call it a sus chord, D7 suspended, okay? Same forward roll. Okay? This next chord, this D7, it won't look like anything. It looks like this. This finger's not down. So it's just these. So I got my first two fingers on the 3rd and 1st string at the 5s, and then my little finger is holding down the 2nd string 7. Because my ring finger, it's just tough to reach it, and it's going to pull my first two fingers up. So I use my little finger, and that's why I've noted it that way. Once you get there, you just do the roll pattern. Now let's look and see how we found the chord. Whenever you have any chord shape, you take the highest root that you're holding and go 2 frets low with it And that turns it into a 7th chord. So here's my D. Here's the highest root that I've got. There's the highest root that I'm holding. I'm not holding this one. If I was holding this one, there's the highest root now, and there's my 7th chord. I'm holding this one. Here's my highest root on the 3rd string. It's 7, so I bring it back 1, I bring it back 2. That's where this shape comes from. You'll do things like this. Or, okay, you'll do that a lot. So get used to the shape, okay? I'm on the 2nd line now. I'm going to hammer on from the 1st to the 3rd finger. I'm leaving this 1st finger down, hitting this 5 on the 3rd string. Lots of stuff ringing into my F shape, and I'm gonna hammer on from the 3rd string from the 4 to the 5, but it's a slow hammer on. It sounds like a pedal steel lick, and then I pull off. That's tough. Okay, I'm at 57 minutes and 13 seconds, so you guys try that along with the YouTube. 2 ups in a row. Okay? Here I'm going to slide from the 5 into the 7, but this is my D7 position at the 7 6 7. It's just sliding into a D7. You shouldn't have any trouble there. Okay? Into a C chord. Okay, with explaining all that stuff, let me run it one more time so you can really see see it all in application. Let's see. Isn't that nice? Kind of made me a little misty right there. Okay, it's about to click off here, so any questions on anything? I think you'll like this one. It does not have to go fast. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, gang. Jim, I'm sorry you came in so late. We just talked about all the secrets of flat picking right before you got here. Oh well. Okay, gang. We'll see you in next week. Adios.